Hi, guys. Welcome to our brand new podcast.
Opinionated Moms.
I'm Andrea,
And I'm Morgan.
and we're so excited to be here with you guys. So, a little bit about us. So, for me, I am a mom of two boys. They're 3 and 4 years old. I do work full time, and I'm so excited to be connecting with Morgan doing this. I absolutely adore her, and I also share casual outfits um, for my mid-size.
Yes. Okay. So again, I'm Morgan, and I also share some outfits online for mid-size slash kind of plus size, and mostly do like mom vlogs because I am a mom of two girls, 10 and 2, and a wife as well.
Hey. Well, we're super excited to be doing this, Morgan. It's been a long time. I feel like we've been talking about this for a while, and we both just love all things like pop culture, all things Bravo. So, really, we just kind of want to discuss like our shows that we are obsessed with. I feel like we were always having our little voice notes on Instagram, and Morgan had this like brilliant idea of like, why not actually put it to good use? So, super excited to be doing this with you guys, just really talking the love that we have for reality TV and also just all things like motherhood, life, chit chat. Morgan just celebrated her birthday. So happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
How was your birthday and how was your weekend?
It was really good. I turned 35. I feel so old.
You
I
don't- You're only as old as you feel. So feel. How do you really feel?
No, I feel good. On like low key, I still feel like I'm like in my 20s.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
But yeah,
Good.
it was fun. I just spent the weekend with the kids and my husband and did family stuff most of the time. But we did do a date night and we went out and we went to a candle making class. So that
I
was really fun.
That looks so nice. And I really, when I saw your post, I wanted to smell the candle. Like, I wish at the end, like, I could smell what your candle smelled like. Did your
Yeah.
husband like?
So my candle was like a honey vanilla scent
Ooh, okay.
because I found this candle at Target and it's black honey vanilla. I
Mm-hmm.
think I think that's what it is, or black. It was those three words, and
Yeah.
it smelled amazing. So I tried to duplicate that. Yeah, but his candle,
Did it not smell good?
he picked like fruity pebbles scent or
Oh
something,
my
and it
God.
it smelled like old cereal. Like you
Oh,
ever smell like
Lord.
a cereal bowl that's like been sitting in the sink for a while? Like that's what it
Oh my
smelled like.
gosh. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Well, it looked really fun, and I'm glad that you had a great birthday. It's like as you get older, I don't know, birthdays are just kind of
Yeah.
like it's another day, but glad you had a great weekend.
You
Um,
went out in town for your sister's birthday though.
Yeah, yeah, we went to like Arrowhead for her birthday and it was great. It was just my sisters, my husband and my kids. And it was great. Honestly, I love being in nature. So being out kind of in the woods, the mountains, and just I don't know, just kind of disconnecting from social media for a weekend. I wasn't as active, but it was great. It was good. Now we're back to reality.
Yeah.
So we want to recap really kind of the shows that are happening right now currently. And there's so many good shows currently on Bravo. I feel like fall and like winter, Bravo just like always has like the best shows. And so we kind of want to like talk a little bit about, I know the season's already going on, but just a little briefly about everything. So
Yeah.
um yeah, which one do you want to start with?
Well, I just watched Potomac this morning. So
Oh, what's that? Was it when I watched that Sunday night? Was it Sunday night?
yeah, it comes out Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what are your thoughts?
Okay, so I know Ashley is controversial, but I've always low-key been team Ashley. I don't know.
Mhm.
I just find her so like cute and bubbly, and I don't feel like she ever does anything like so crazy that I'm like, oh, I would never talk to her again. You know what I mean? Like, because they're all there to start drama. So I feel like she kind of does her job. But the way that she handled the GNA event, like when the girls came late, I was kind of disappointed. I wanted her to speak up a little bit more. Like I know Giselle was pissed, but I just wanted her to speak up a little bit more. Like, oh well, they're here. Like, let them stay. It's one thing to be mad. I would be mad too if I was Ashley and Giselle, specifically Giselle.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't have tried to kick them out and like calling security. Like that was really dramatic. Like let's pipe down, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
That was wild. But otherwise, I don't think any. Oh, but Karen and her DUI.
Hmm. Hmm.
I
How
just,
are you feeling about Miss Karen, the Grand Dame?
I'm just not a Karen fan. Karen just pisses me
Oh,
off.
yeah. Yeah. So I am Team Karen, but Karen this season, I really I feel like she's trying to paint this picture that like she's holier than thou as always. I love her because she's got some funny lines. She just cracks me up, like honestly. She's such a like a hoot, but I really wish she was coming in this season just kind of a bit more accountability of like, hey, I can't really talk about it, but I really do feel bad about the situation. I'm so happy that like I'm okay. I didn't hurt anybody. I feel like she's kind of making herself sound like the victim a little bit, and I'm like,
Yeah,
you
because
messed
she's
up.
like, oh, I could have died. I'm like,
I could
yeah,
have
because of
died.
you.
Yeah, and it's her second time, which I'm like Karen. So I don't like how she's. I don't know. I just wish she was taking more accountability. Ashley, I used to love Ashley, but I just feel like Ashley, what she's good at doing, she stirs the pot. She always finds her way to start little fires and somehow always kind of like is clean of the mess. And I think it bugs me because I feel like I've never really I don't believe her relationship. I don't believe she's actually going through a divorce. I believe she was with Michael just for his money. And like I feel like she wants everyone else to be honest, but she doesn't really tell us too much either because then Michael's going to sue her. So I don't know. She just bugs me. But then Karen actually making that joke about her bunions.
Her bunion.
I was like, Karen, I was like, why we gotta
That
talk about looks? Like,
yeah, that took it to a whole new look. Because come on now, we can talk about Karen and some
well,
looks.
I know. I was telling my sisters, I was like, Karen has some good reads. And when people have to go for people's looks, I'm just like, Karen, they can talk about you too, you know? It's like you should
But
have
I mean, I don't really think Ashley getting what she was upset about was Ashley getting her the Uber gift card. But I don't really think that's that shady because you yourself said that you're not driving anywhere anymore. Like when she had Giselle come pick her up to go to breakfast because she said she wasn't driving anywhere. So why are you mad when somebody gave you Uber gift cards?
yeah, because Karen can't take accountability. She is the
Right.
queen of deflecting, which the season right now, I am not enjoying Karen. I do love her still. Giselle throwing out the girls and like at the end of the day, if I'm being honest, I understood where she was coming from, and I did like how she apologizes to the girls
Hmm.
because I feel like that's really big of Giselle. I don't feel like she normally does that. Okay, and then last one before we move on. What about Mia? Mia
Okay,
be like,
real quick, I just wanted to say I think the reason we're seeing growth from Giselle is because Robin isn't there. So,
yeah.
but that's a different topic. But anyways, Mia, I really like Mia because she makes me laugh. I just think, but here's the thing. I think when somebody is who they are and they are unapologetically who they are, you can't fault them for that. Like she told you this is who I am, and then she was that person. So
Mm-hmm.
you could just not deal with her.
I remember her coming in saying, "Oh, I'm a liar." Like I say stuff that I don't actually like remember, and say stuff just cause, and then she'll be like, "Oops, sorry, I take that back." Like I like Mia. Like I think she's a so I feel like Mia's the kind of girl where I want to hang out with, do
Yeah.
go drinking, go vacation. But like, could I trust her with like actual information? I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Her and Jacqueline, I feel like their relationship is super messy too. Like,
I just think they both hit like way below the belt and then
yes,
they forgive each other for
yes.
things like that.
And the whole stuff that's going on with like Ink and Gordon and like with Jeremiah, like
But that's what I mean by like she told you this is who she is. Like she's dropped bits and pieces ever since
yeah,
she's been on the show to
yeah,
let you know she would have a situation like this. This is not unusual. Now, if we found out like Wendy had like a secret boyfriend all these years, that would throw me off. But for Mia, I was like, yeah, that sounds
that
about
makes
right.
sense.
Yeah.
Like that adds up. That
I
adds
was
up.
like, yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah. Well, I'm totally loving Potomac so far. Like it's it feels like okay, we're back to Potomac, and so I'm excited. I'm excited for the season. Oh my gosh, wait, and then Stacy's friend, that was so awkward. It was so weird. I
That was really weird. I don't, you know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of Kenya from Atlanta.
really
The
okay.
reason I say she reminds me of Kenya is because like I feel like you know how when Ashley said like some people have this newscaster voice and they can't turn it off, it comes across very inauthentic
Mm,
and like you're putting on for the camera.
hmm.
So I feel like Kenya does that. Like I feel like Kenya's like, okay, the camera's on, like let me try to portray that like life is good and I'm fine. And even in their vulnerable moments, they seem very like scripted. You know what I'm saying? Like it just
Yeah,
never feels all the way real. Like
yeah, I can
even
see
when
that.
Giselle asked her about her daughter,
Uh-huh. Oh,
when they met and when they had the charcuterie boards and stuff, and she was like, "So you have two kids, right?" And she was like, "Oh, no, I have one beautiful, amazing daughter." Like nobody describes their kid
yeah.
like that. Like who
Yeah,
said
it
that?
definitely it's giving Stacey's definitely giving like season one where she's like not herself. I feel like she's trying to put her best self on camera. And I feel like if I'm being honest, I probably would come off like a Stacey if I'm being honest. But I don't get that vibe from Kenya. But maybe from her like first season. But Stacey, I like her, but I'm just like, what's going on? Like there's something weird going on there. And I
Yeah,
just
it's something off-putting.
something off-putting, but I'm enjoying the season so far.
Right.
Uh, okay, so next, let's talk about. I know OC's been going on the longest right now. Like
Yeah.
basically, we're already on the cast trip, which this season has been wild. What are your thoughts?
Okay, let's boil it down because I feel like Tamra is like the main. Well, first of all, we love Emily. Shout
Mm,
out to Emily.
yes, we
She can
do.
do no wrong. She's amazing. Um, Tamra, I don't even know where to start. She I don't know why she's so angry at Shannon. Like I know Shannon is obnoxious. I very much so understand that, right? But like I feel like she has a personal vendetta against her where she's like, I have to go for Shannon every 5 minutes. And it's like, just
Hmm.
leave it alone. Her and
Heather.
Jen. No, her and
Oh,
she goes after Shannon and Jen like constantly.
okay, yeah. Well, this last week's episode, that last scene where Jen pops off on
I
Tamara,
was like,
I was like, finally, finally. I feel
oh,
like the audience has been wanting Jen to finally speak up. Cameron didn't even see this coming. You could, and like she walked in here with her hair fried, her face is white as a ghost, lips were so chapped. She looked busted. And I was like, oh my gosh. And like you could tell Tamara just had no idea. Um, so this is controversial. I do love Tamara, and I feel like I say it behind the scenes. I have to say it on camera. I do love Tamara. I'm super disappointed with how she handles herself on camera when she's filming because I listen to her podcast. I love Two T's in the Pod. Shout out to you guys. And I feel like that's the real Tamara. And then when I see her on the show, I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? I think her message, I agree with how she feels about certain topics regarding Shannon. Um, her delivery is just way off. Her tone is
yeah.
off. She's mean, she's angry, she's a bully. And then coming off after Jen, it's just kind of like it's too much. And like it's I feel like the audience isn't taking it well. And I don't know, she's a mess. She's
Because
a mess.
whenever she comes into a situation, she's always on 10.
What?
And even when the situation like doesn't involve her, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Mm.
like even though like you said we agree with what she's saying, but it's like why are we going off on this person about this?
Yeah, and I personally, you already know, Shannon bugs the crap out of me. She truly does. I actually feel like everything that's happening to her is kind of like her karma. I do feel bad for the situation, but I feel like if this wouldn't have happened to her, I feel like she just continued being like living in her like work. I don't know. Shannon bugs me. I feel like she's a professional victim. So
Oh,
and
for
it's
sure. Her
and
her and Whitney from Salt Lake.
oh wait, you think Whitney's a professional victim?
I think that they even though I like Whitney, like her personality, she definitely uses her trauma
All the
to
all the
to
time.
argue just about anything, to make her point about anything. And Shannon does the same thing, but they're
Yeah.
always their excuse is that I'm healing, I'm going through this, I'm working on myself, and you're yelling at me, so you're not working on yourself. And it's like,
Shannon's thing is like, I am not a victim. Like if every episode, I feel like she says how strong she is, how she's not a victim. And I'm like, we all know you think you're a victim. So yeah, but my point was that Tamara is doing the most, that she's making Shannon actually look okay. And I'm like, stop it. Like just stop. But I'm enjoying the season of Orange County. Like the reunion's gonna be so intense.
I'm
The
so
whole
excited.
So excited. I can't wait to see their looks too. Do you like when we get to see a preview of their looks? I love it.
Yeah, because I actually, so whenever it's the same thing like when I'm on Instagram and I feel like the clips, like I'm watching like an outfit video and the clips go by too fast, like I get upset and I'm trying to like pause the screen because I want to like look at it, like really look at it, take in the details because always the details for me. So
Mhm.
I like when they post it so that I can actually look at it because
Yeah.
most of the time you're just gonna see like from the torso up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I agree. I love seeing the reunion looks. And so the season's really good. And then what about we love Emily. What about Katie, Heather, that whole
Oh,
situation?
Um, Katie's cool. I like Katie. I like her story, her vibe and everything.
Yeah.
I feel like she obviously can handle her own, like with the Heather stuff. I feel like the Heather stuff was like dragged out for like a while. And even after it was over and Katie was like, "Oh, I'm gonna apologize," I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know, if you're gonna, I don't know if I would, but go ahead, girl. And then she tried, she tried to apologize, and Heather shut that down multiple times. I was like, just stop, because now Heather's playing you, which is what she wants. She
Yeah.
wants you to grovel.
You know, I have to say this in the beginning, I was like, Katie's doing the most. Like, she's kind of bugging, she's annoying. But the more I feel like we've seen her, I actually really do like Katie. I love her story. I think she's actually so freaking pretty. And in her confessionals, she looks gorgeous. And I almost feel like we all know behind the scenes, kind of her storyline was kind of talked about just a little bit here and there. And Gina is, I don't feel like Gina's owning up to like, I knew about this months way before. And when Katie brought it to me, I should have told Heather right then and there. She didn't. And I feel like that's where I don't, it just, Gina's really bothering me. And I feel like social media is saying how like Gina's carrying the show because she's able to kind of drop little seeds here and there and kind of stirring the pot. And I'm just like, I don't know. Gina bugs me. Gina bugs me. Feel like I I want to like her, but she bugs, and I really do hope that Katie comes back for season two because I really do think she's a good mix for the group of ladies. I love like the diversity, and like her talking about her culture that she doesn't even know and like wants to learn about. Like I love that. I really do. She's a really good story.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about Gina. Because I used to really like Gina, and
I
then
know.
I don't know, she's just kind of getting on my nerves lately. I
I
don't even know how to like form an opinion about her lately.
I know, but we did just real quick, and then we can move on to Salt Lake. But I think everyone's talked about that one confessional look that Gina had.
Which she was wearing our founding father's wig.
Oh my gosh, so bad. And I know her whole thing is like she could do her own glam hair and makeup, but it's like I really think she could pay for going for confessional.
I mean, she could have just
Okay.
used the flat iron, just a flat iron. You don't
Yeah,
need.
her hair during London right now, it looks gorgeous. I
It
don't know
looks
if
great.
the color, the length, the fullness, it is working. And I'm like, she has such beautiful features. I'm just like, why do you dress like that sometimes? Like, oh, like, come on now. Um, but OC is great so far. Okay, before we move on to Salt Lake, anything else for Orange County?
No, I'm not an Alexis fan, but that's about it.
Oh my gosh, Alexis.
Forgot about her because she's
Girl,
not in London.
she's man, Alexis, I liked her before like old seasons, and I was excited for her to come back. Oh my God. Every
Did
time
you
she's on
see? I'm
screen.
sorry. Go ahead. My bad, girl.
No, no, go, 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 go.
Her Alexis's ex-husband, Jim, is dating
Emily. No.
Cat
Is it Emily?
Cat
No, it's
Vargas.
something Vargas.
Elizabeth? Elizabeth
Elizabeth,
Vargas. Yes.
like
Yes.
joke?
I was like, what is happening? I was like, is the dating pool that small out there?
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy and wild. I'm like, is this a PR stunt?
Yeah.
Why? Why? Is this her? Is it because Elizabeth's trying to get back onto the show?
I don't
Like
know.
it
I don't
was
know. I
weird.
forgot all about her until I saw that.
And like, does Jim have that much money that like she'd go after
He's not
him?
that good looking.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, not that good looking. Is he that loaded? Like, I'm just confused.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was weird. Okay. Salt Lake. Oh my gosh, Salt Lake. Okay,
I love
so
Salt Lake.
I love Salt Lake too. You go first. What are your thoughts of the season so far?
Okay, so I like Whitney. Like I said, I like Whitney. Like if I was on the cast, me and Whitney we would kick it. But she does do that like victim, this is my trauma, I'm healing thing. However, that was some really heavy stuff that she found out about herself.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like she is, I mean, and she's a mom and she owns a couple businesses. So like she is going through some things.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I just feel like I'm trying to say this nicely. Women of a particular age
Hmm.
and elitist mindset,
Hmm.
they think the world revolves around them and they live in Utah. So
Hmm.
she, she probably in her mind really is a victim.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Whitney, I used to love actually. And you're right. I think out of the whole cast, I'll be honest with you, Whitney and Heather are the type of girls I would actually hang out with, do brunch, could be myself. I could literally, you know what I mean? I wouldn't
Yeah.
feel like I could feel be myself. Um, but Whitney, I think to me, she's such a flip-flopper. And I don't like how she uses her trauma all the time. Um, I mean, I guess it makes the show interesting because she's like so messy. And then sometimes she'll get her point and like the point was completely wrong. And it's like,
Mhm.
that was not what actually happened. But now you started this whole mess because you couldn't remember your facts. So that kind of bothers me. And because I know you can't stand Miss Lisa Barlow. Miss Baby Gorgeous is my queen. And Whitney is not Team Lisa right now. So unfortunately, Whitney's not on my good list. And there's nothing that Lisa can do that will make me love her less.
That is wild. Lisa literally every time she talks, my head hurts right now just
Oh,
thinking about her. Like every time she talks, it's just like all over the place. Like she never shuts up. She never lets anybody get anything out. And she's just like, I don't understand. I don't understand. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Well, if you shut up for 0.5 seconds, you might understand how you're being obnoxious.
yeah, yeah. No, you do have a point. I feel like this season, so my sisters and I love her. She has her extreme cringy moments, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Lisa, like, why are you like saying that? It's just read the room. Timing is so off. I think what I love about her, I feel like she's so ambitious and she's so driven that I feel like I'm like inspired by how hard she works. I think she has an amazing husband who just literally like worships her and she runs her marriage I feel like she's just so used to being like a boss that sometimes she forgets that like other people have a voice, have feelings too. So I love her, and I hope that we get to see a softer side. We haven't seen that just yet. This season is not starting off strong. But how do you feel about Angie?
Um, I feel like kind of the same as like Tamara. Like I feel like Angie has good points, but they either come up at very inappropriate times or like her delivery is just unnecessary.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
like I understand she's so I feel like Angie tells herself like, oh, I'm mad at this person. I'm going to stand up for myself. Like, when I see them, I'm going to go off on them. And then
Hmm.
that person breathes and she goes off on them. And it's like, now is not the time. Like, calm down. That's I don't know. But like the her and the Lisa thing, like I don't even know why they're really fighting. Like I was confused, but
Well, so this is the part that sucks because like I like Angie, but again, because she's not Team Lisa right now, unfortunately, Angie's on my bad side. But the reason why they're not on good terms, from what I can recall, is that when Whitney went on the podcast, actually, it kind of started from last
oh,
season.
because Angie told Whitney what
Yeah.
Lisa said.
Yes. And then do you remember how last season Angie was trying to be the peacemaker? And I feel like I can understand that where you see both sides and you're trying to like find neutral grounds for both parties, for everyone to kind of move forward. Angie was trying to do that last season, and Lisa took it so personal when Angie was like, I understand Monica, and like I kind of forgave her. We made up, and Lisa was like, how dare you? Like, how could you? Lisa is so loyal. Like last season, Lisa was literally going after Monica for the rumors that were happening on Angie's marriage. Like Lisa's that type of girl where she's a ride or die and she's so loyal. And I think she got upset how Angie kind of forgave her so quickly. And she told Lisa last season, like, you don't really let me speak. It's a very one-sided friendship, and they moved past it.
Hmm.
After filming, it was like, oh, Angie and Whitney got closer and they kind of bonded over certain topics. It's funny how I know this, and it's like I act like I'm like their friends and talking to them all day.
Because we
Um,
are. We
we
are.
yeah, we are. They just don't really know it.
Yeah.
But and then basically when Whitney went on the podcast to call Lisa the villain, like this is when I'm like, Lisa, just own the villain role and
But
just
she kind of is the villain. So I don't know why she's upset. Like,
I mean, I think she's an amazing villain. I don't think she's a villain. I mean, I think without Lisa, there is no Salt Lake, if I'm being quite honest. Um,
I think it would survive.
I don't think so.
Definitely think they would be just fine.
I I don't think so. Okay, but okay. So and then what about Heather, Miss Heather? Um,
I do
I
and
also
I don't like Heather. Like sometimes she irritates me because I feel like, okay, here's the thing. So
Heather's messy.
with Housewives, the
Mm-hmm.
show, the franchise in general, certain people like Ashley from Potomac or like excuse me, or like Whitney and Salt Lake, they can come in and they can throw matches and start these little fires everywhere. And it's okay. It's okay. Like it's annoying, but it's like it's okay. And it's all right because they're more like the goofy, bubbly, like little sister and like, oh, that's just them being them. But then there's people like Heather who I feel like they go in she goes in with like an intention of like I'm gonna tell everything that just happened and now you need to be mad about it and you need to go start an argument about it. Like it turns into
Kind of
a
like what
thing. Say what?
it's kind of like what Tamara does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's frustrating to watch because it's like you can see her gears
Like,
spinning when
yep.
somebody tells her something, and it's not like a cute fun conversation anymore. Like
It's also
okay,
storyline. She thinks she's an editor, where it's kind of like just be yourself and like Yeah, I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
somebody could tell her one little thing and she'll immediately run back and be like, such and such said this about you. Like when Bronwyn was talking about Whitney, that wasn't necessarily something she needed to run back and tell Whitney. I feel like it really would, just like how Bronwyn repeated it to Whitney, was the same way that she said it to Heather and Lisa to me. It's the same, it was the same vibe. It was like, girl, I think you were practicing that. Like that was a bit much. She was telling her.
I could see that. I actually think Brian was being a lot more snarky with Heather and Lisa, but I did appreciate Bronwyn owning it and telling Whitney like you practice that in the mirror, girl. So like I appreciated that, but I think the tone was different. But she owned it, I think, at the end of the day. And she literally said that like after hanging out with Whitney, I like her. I made assumptions.
That was also her first time meeting Whitney. So like if I
Yeah.
met somebody like that, I'd be like, girl, that was a lot, you know?
Yeah. Um, just so you know, the thing gave me a warning. I don't know if you got the warning too, that it's
Mm-mm.
and I was
Oh,
like,
I see it.
oh, oh, you see it?
I
I
see
can't.
the time. Okay, we have 4 minutes.
Okay, so I think we're gonna have to talk about New York for next episode. Because I don't think we can like literally talk about it in 2 minutes.
Yeah. New York, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
New York, I mean, it's it's just starting to give, just not
Right.
yet.
It just
Um,
started.
but I just wanted to make sure you knew that. And I think maybe we should be like, okay, now we're gonna let me just I'm gonna say that we're gonna talk about New York for next week. Okay. Well, overall, I do think Salt Lake is it's doing a lot. And then next week we should talk about just the whole Bronwyn's story. Honestly, is also so interesting, and it felt so raw, real, vulnerable, which I feel like we love moments like that.
Hmm.
Um, so excited that we got to do this. And thank you guys for tuning in and listening. And if you guys have any suggestions, any shows that you think we should watch, or honestly, just your feedback, be nice because we're brand new. We don't know what we're doing here. We're just two opinionated moms just chatting it up and just, talking all things reality. So thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, guys, please leave some comments. Let us know what you think so we can actually use the feedback to make things better. But I'm so happy we got to do this. This is pretty much what our actual conversations sound like on a
I
regular
know.
basis. So,
Yeah.
except we probably have kids screaming in the background when we're
Yep.
talking to each other. So,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
For tuning in, guys, and we'll see you guys next week. We're gonna try to do these weekly, and yeah, we're just learning as we go. So just bear with us.
Yes. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.